Hello everyone, and welcome to the Red Door Yoga Mini Sutra series online. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about death and those left behind. So, to give you a little background on my learning with this topic, when I was in my early 20s, I should actually go back before that, just before I hit my 20s, at university, I was part of student council. I was a president of the international floor at my university, at Queen's University. And as a result, I was then on a committee of presidents that had its own president and vice president. And the vice president of that committee actually became sort of a friend of everybody who was there. And he was a very nice guy. Fast forward, about 2-3 years later, I remember I'm out of university now and I'm getting dressed for work, and I heard about a Canadian man who had been killed while he was in St. Lucia. He was there for a wedding. Long story short, I'm telling you these two parts of the story because you know that was him who had actually been killed. He was actually mugged and killed for his sneakers. Now, one of the things I remember about this young man was that he was very nice. He was very friendly and very nice to everyone. And also, it turned out that he was the only child of his parents, and that a year before his father had actually died of heart failure. So one of the things that really kind of struck me wasn't just the fact that this guy was so nice, and that was a violent death. He was stabbed to death, I should mention. That was a violent death to have to go through, and a death that must have been both painful and scary for him. But I also thought about his mother, who was the last remaining of his family, and how she had gone through loss of, her husband, and then a year later to lose her only child in this way. So, it really kind of, it emotionally hit me, and it got me really thinking about this. Now, some of you are aware that my father is a yogi, and he is actually my teacher and my mentor. And so, as my students, who I'm a mentor for, come to me, I actually went to my father at that point in time because I was really trying to contemplate it from a philosophical viewpoint, from the viewpoint of yoga philosophy. Why would this type of death occur? Why would he go through this? And my father said something very simple, very succinct, and very profound to me. And that was, death isn't about the person who dies. He said, when you die, that's it for you. Your suffering is over. Even if you believe in reincarnation, etc., the suffering of that physicality, etc., is over at the point of death. There is nothing beyond that point for that physicality, even if you're going to incarnate again. He said, death isn't about the person who dies. He said, death is about those that you leave behind and how they face it and what they learn from it. And it really, as I said, struck me as a profound thought to realize that, while my mind had been struggling about, this friend's experience at the point of death, it really was now about the learning that I was doing as a result of this, the learning his mother would do as a result of this, the learning all those who knew him would do as a result of this. So too will my death be for those who know me, for your death be for those who know you. It won't be about myself or yourself. It will be about those that we leave behind. Our path continues on in the way that it's going to continue on, but the death itself becomes the learning point for those left behind. Noticing the things that trigger us, noticing the grief that wells up, which is natural and normal, learning how to process our emotions, those are all the gifts of the death. Okay? How we face it down is what is important. Okay, I hope that was helpful, everyone, and I hope that you will join me again online. If you enjoy this or found it helpful in some way, please do share it, please do like it, please do comment. I suspect we'll get some comments on this one, because it is a bit of an emotional and difficult experience for a lot of people. In fact, according to yoga, death is one of the root causes of suffering. It is our fear of death that is the root cause, one of the root causes of our suffering. And so it is certainly worth looking at. It is certainly a necessity for us to look at in our life. Okay? Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Namaste.